on the entrance ramp to Donaldson, the fender bender, 65 South and Armory Drive and exit there clearing. Hillwood Boulevard and Wilsonia Avenue with the fender bender and the trading stations. WMOT Roots Radio, I'm Randy O'Brien.
Support comes from the Yeehaw Brewing Company of Tennessee, so that WMOT Roots Radio can present music programming with limited interruption. Yeehaw brewers believe that beer brings people together, so they craft their mix of ales and lagers with that in mind. Yeehaw reminds you to always drink responsibly. YeehawBrewing.com. And we want to remind you that the Jerry Douglas Band and the Steel Drivers will be participating in our next donors show, Wired In. It's happening December 1st at Teal Studio, downtown Nashville. Wired In with me, Jesse Scott, and special guest broadcast live once a month on the radio, is streamed at WMOT.org and at viewhouse.com if you want to watch the video. Marty Stewart for you now. This is The Observation of a Crow. Roots Radio, WMOT.
Newspaper boy making his rounds, spreading the word all over town, driving his car just as fast as it will go. There's papers in the driveway, papers in the yard. Paper broke a window, he didn't throw it that hard, but it shattered like a dream down in the valley below. Hey, quarter moon, well, how was your night? Yeah, well, any minute now, God's gonna hit them brights. So if you stick around, don't you say that you weren't told. Well, take it from me, you better grab your shades. If he looks at you, ooh, well, try not to look so afraid. Just do the best that you can, but don't you think that he won't know. Creosote's dripping from the highline poles, fast as you can count them, 12 in a row. Blessed accommodations for the daily observations of a crow. Cat down there, yeah, well, he's Louis the Flea. He's married to a waitress by the name of Loli. When they scream and they holler, man, they put on a show. He's a protected witness from a Detroit job. Turned his best friend in. His name was Bob. I know who got the time, but who do you think got the dope? Take a look at that pilgrim passing by. He's looking for love. I can see it in his eyes. He's running around in circles. You can take it from me. His shadow begs for mercy at every lost and found. In city after city, town after town, tortured by the memory of a love you thought was supposed to be. Creosote's dripping from the highline poles, fast as you can count, 12 in a row. Blessed accommodations for the daily observations of a crow. I'm a genuine scoopologist, the name is Crow. Sitting up here, watching the show in this one-horse drive through forsaken, dried a piece of the world. Well, it ain't much, but it's my kingdom, it's my home. Even had a queen, so that parakeet came along. Fast talking, loud spoken, green feathers scratched at my girl. Later.
Make it all right. From Monday morning till Friday night. Oh, those lonely weekends. Since you left me, I'm as lonely as I can be. Oh, those lonely weekends. Said you'd be good to me. Said I love would never die. Said you'd be good to me. But baby, you didn't even try. Well, I mean, Monday morning till Friday night. Oh, it's lonely weekend. Said you'd be good to me. Said our love would never die. Said you'd be good to me. But baby, you didn't even try. Well, from Monday morning till Friday night. Oh, it's lonely weekend. Oh, those lonely weekends. Oh, those lonely weekends. Orphans and renegades, rednecks and chuckle shades, loners on holidays, old men chasing glory days, young lovers with broken hearts, old soldiers missing parts. Yeah, we all got battle scars. Maybe that makes us who we are. We are the underdogs. We are the underdogs. We may fall behind, but we rise, we climb, and we shine like broken stars. We are the underdogs, yeah. We're just a little outside the gates. Fall down 7, get up 8. Makers of great mistakes, lovers of what others hate, big gloves on featherweights. You'd be surprised at the punch we take. We bend, we bruise, but we never break. We are the underdogs. We are the underdogs. We may fall behind, but we rise, we climb, and we shine like broken stars. We are the underdogs. 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 We may fall behind, but we rise, we climb, and we shine like broken stars. We are the underdogs. Yeah.
That is brand new music from Travis Meadows. Underdogs comes from the First Cigarette album. Before that, the host of Music City Roots, Jim Lauderdale, Feels Like Going Home. The song's of Charlie Rich, doing Lonely Weekends. We started this out with the observation of a crow. Marty Stewart off The Pilgrim. Tonight's show, Music City Roots, Scott Miller, Rose Cousins, Eric Brace with Roy Hoffman, and David Childers. Coming to you in about 16 minutes, top of the hour from the factory in Franklin. Randy, this is our last report of the day. How do the roads look, just in case somebody might be wanting to drive to Franklin?
Well, they're going to have some problems. We had an accident earlier, I-65 south around 440. Once you get out of Midtown, though, it smooths out pretty quickly, so shouldn't be a problem once you get past 440 and that other accident that is still in the clearing stages. That's the good news. Unfortunately, still some slowdown on I-24 East headed out of Davidson County, headed toward Rutherford County around the 440 Parkway exit. We had some accidents in that area. That's clearing. 65 north as you make your way toward Goodlettsville, Hendersonville, and Vietnam Veterans Boulevard. An injury accident from earlier I-65 south at Rivergate Parkway affecting both north and southbound lanes there. You've also got the accident from earlier. It's off the side of the road. Ramp restriction still Donaldson Pike at I-40. We have I-65 and I-440 East. Just mentioned that when the accident there before the exit. Hermitage Avenue and Edgar Street of Fender Bender. We've got Broadway at 19th Avenue south of Fender Bender there. And then also Donaldson Pike at I-40 East. And then Hillwood Boulevard at Wilsonia Avenue from earlier. That's still clearing. WOT Roots Radio. Randy.
Have a good evening, Randy. See you tomorrow. Support comes from the Yeehaw Brewing Company of Tennessee. Yeehaw believes in community, music, friendship, and local Tennessee culture. They feature Pilsner Pale Ale, 80 shillings Scottish Ale, and Dunkel Dark Lager year-round with seasonals like Winter Porter, English Porter meets Shores Beer. Yeehaw Brewers remind you to drink responsibly and always look out for friends. Jesse Scott taking off, top of the hour. It's Music City Roots from the...
All right. Check 1, 2, check, check. Check 1, 2, check, check. Yeah. Check, check. Check, check. Check 1, 2, check, check, chili check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Howdy, hey. Okay, perfect. Sounds great. Check, check, 1, 2, check. Howdy, hey.
And
Check, check.
and check.
Checkity check. Check 1, 2.
Do you have me and Mike and Sue? There you go.
Yeah, the chili check 1, 2, check 1, 2. Howdy, hey, howdy, ho. Howdy, hey, howdy, ho.
Get off of work, grab me a can, flip off the top, and let the fun begin. Be even more fun, get back to friends. Be any chili.
Sounds pretty good. Want a little more of anything? You feel good about that? Yeah? Mark, you feel good? You like that?
You okay?
Goes sonorous and everything. Welcome, 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 everybody. How's it going out there? Let me hear you. It's time. They have told us it is less than 10 minutes to showtime, and that is accurate. We go down to the second here at Music City Roots, 7 o'clock on the nose. Not like all those other lazy shows in town. You never know when they're going to start. It could be 9:05, it could be 9:35, it could be 11:30, and you've been there all night long with nursing your beer and wondering when you're ever going to get home again. Not here, 7 o'clock. We're thrilled you're here. Since we are getting close to showtime, I know we got a whole bunch of guests, special guests, having dinner upstairs, and we are thrilled. We don't want to rush you. We want you to enjoy your food and chill, but at the same time, it's awesome to have the whole house full down here. So if you do have a reserved seat, start making your way there, and it'll make the opening of this show that much more dramatic. It's a big moment. We go live on the radio, WMOT 89.5, Roots Radio, out of MTSU, 100,000 watts of pure Americana around the clock. We hope that you are fans of the station and listening week in, week out, as our team of crack DJs, live, local DJs, spin live music, a lot of it local. We're trying to present the best of what Nashville makes in 2017 and what it's made over these last decades. And the great tradition of roots music and Americana, going back to the days of Hank Williams and Robert Johnson and Bill Monroe. And it's all part of a great big American story, and we love being a part of it. It's what we do here each week at Music City Roots. We tell that story 4 artists at a time. So you know who the lineup is. If you didn't get a program, they're all available out there on the front desk. We got some killer programs thanks to Dex Imaging. And you've got program notes, tell you everything you need to know about who's playing tonight. Usually folks come to see one artist that they know and walk away buying a CD from an artist they don't know and make new favorites. Speaking of getting a CD from an artist you don't yet know or do know, The artist merchandise counter is over there. It is irregularly staffed during the show, but once the show's over, you're bound to find the artist over there mixing and mingling, selling you a t-shirt or an LP or a CD or something that helps them keep the gas in the tank. Please do support artists directly by purchasing stuff from their merch store. That is the #1 way that they stay afloat in this day of digital listening. The bar is over here, stage right. Get yourself a Blackstone beer. Puckett's is open. Hot food up there, hot soul food. Chicken and barbecue, coleslaw, macaroni and cheese, sweet tea, and it's all part of the deal. I think that's kind of all I've got to tell you. I'm Craig. I do the interviews. Jim Lauderdale will be up here in a second hosting, and Keith Bilbrey is our fantastic man on the mic here at the podium. And
5 minutes until showtime.
There's 5 minutes until showtime, in case you didn't know that. And I just want to say thanks for being here. And let's hear one warm-up round of wrist-bending applause, because that's how we stay afloat here. Makes it sound good on the radio. Thanks you so much for being here. We'll be back with you in 5 minutes for a great show.
Two minutes till showtime. Until showtime. 1 minute. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
From the edge of Music City, live from Liberty Hall at the historic factory at Franklin, Music City Roots is on the air. Tonight, classic songs from France, given the Americana treatment. A truth-telling songwriter and painter from North Carolina, one of Canada's most respected contemporary folk voices and visionaries, and a show-closing set from our favorite roots rockin' troubadour and cattle farmer. Who could ask for more? Lively and good-looking crowds on hand here at the factory, and we're going to get this show underway with a song and some thoughts from our musical host. This man was recently voted the sexiest man in his zip code. Yeah, that's Jim Lauderdale.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. Well, good evening, everybody. Hey, I've been in the studio last week and this week, and I'd like to try out, if you don't mind, a brand new song that's never been performed in front of an audience. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Just recorded it. Just sang it today. So. It blows my mind out of the water and makes me swim to where you stay. It took some time for me to find you. It blows my mind in every way. Oh, let's be clear so there's no confusion. I'm appreciating everything you do. I love all the heart that you've been using. That's just you being you. You're more than kind, with understanding. It blows my mind in every way. Whoa, let's be clear so there's no confusion. I'm appreciating everything you do. I love all the heart that you've been using, but that's just you being you. It blows my mind out of the orbit and makes me fly to where you stay. You show me light that life can offer. It blows my mind in every way. The way you shine, it blows my mind. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Welcome to Music City Roots, live from the factory here in Franklin, Tennessee. The factory where dreams are made. Well, you know, this is our weekly showcase of honest, handmade artistry from the greatest music scene on earth. That's right, and we're excited to see you here, and we've got a great show ahead, and in case you've never joined us before, here's how it works. Okay, we've got musicians, of course, and we have interviews, and we have announcements, but in the hands of this guy, they're more than announcements. They're like poetry. He's the Tennessee Radio Hall of Famer, Keith Bilbrey.
Thank you. You're too kind. You're too kind.
He could sell ice to an Eskimo, as they say.
And Keith, I'll tell you what, I know with all the Christmas stuff coming, this is like Christmas for me tonight, to be here with the three of us together here tonight.
I feel the same way, Jim.
It's been a long time since the three of us have been here.
Three little elves.
Together. That's right. And the interviews
happens here.
Come from the guy to my right, our official in-house interview guy and journalist. He's host of WMOT's weekend talk show, The String, and he presides over our chat room, also known as Three Stools and the Truth. Whoa. Mr. Craig Havighurst.
That's right. No one gets out of here alive. Good to see you, Jim.
You too.
Good to see everybody here. You mentioned Christmas, that annual challenge, but I can't think about that. I've got to get my wife something for her birthday a week from tonight. I'm stumped, folks. I'm stumped. So anybody tap me on the shoulder, suggestions, tweet me something. I'm all ears. I'm all ears. She's just a wonderful, wonderful, smart, dynamic woman who seems to have everything she needs. So I'm just stumped as always. But I love you, honey. If you're listening, I'll take ideas from you too. That maybe start at the source. We are thrilled to be back here in the factory for another week of fine, fine music. We are here thanks to the good graces of our supporters and sponsors, and Keith will tell you about them as the night goes on, but I get to tell you about our partners who bring special services and help to the show and keep us going in that respect. And one of those folks is Soulshine Pizza. They bring hot pizza over for our crew as they set up each week. So say thanks to Soulshine, wonderful purveyors of pizza and beer in Midtown and down here in Berry Farms. Right here in Franklin. Also, we say thanks to Dex Imaging. They provide the equipment that lets us put a program in your hand as you walk in each week. And they're expanding their presence in Nashville, so check them out at deximaging.com. Blackstone Brewery, you can get a Blackstone beer right over there. And they bring the lineup each week, and this is a special one. I've been looking forward to this show. This is a neat mixture of top-tier artists. We're going to close the night out with a guy that's been back and back to the show who couldn't have him enough. Just an amazing songwriter. He's got a new record called Ladies Auxiliary. He is no lady. He is Scott Miller. So say hello to Scott. An artist I got to see last year at the Americana Fest. Very beautiful, just beautiful music that makes you think. Canadian songwriter, Juno Award winner Rose Cousins is here. Michelle's leading the applause over there. I guess you got to clap. It's in your contract. And a wonderful North Carolina songwriter. A guy I did not know is from my home state until I did some research, although I had heard his first album. He is superb, and he is David Childers, and he'll be here up in the second set. I'm doubly excited about this first set. Well, excited for a lot of reasons, but including the fact that there's not one but two accordions on stage. The instrument that can make every band better. Jim Lauderdale, take it away.
All right. Well, folks, up now are a couple of good friends of the show who've each performed here over the years in a number of genres and configurations. Eric is an Americana veteran, founder of Last Train Home, founder of Red Beat Records, duo partner with Peter Cooper, and so much more. Rory is the most complete and versatile musician we've ever met. And they've collaborated on the new all-French language album, Carte Postale. Let them sweep you away, Eric Brace and Rory Hoffman.
Si les fleurs qui bordent les chemins se fanaient toutes demain, je garderai au cœur celle qui s'allumait dans tes yeux lorsque je t'aimais tant au pays merveilleux de nos 16 printemps. Petite fleur d'amour, tu fleuriras toujours mon bonheur, petite fleur. Sur mes 20 ans, je m'arrête un moment pour respirer ce parfum que j'ai tant aimé. Quand la vie par moments me trahit, tu restes mon bonheur, petite fleur. Par moments me trahit, tu restes mon bonheur, petite fleur. Sur mes 20 ans, je m'arrête un moment pour respirer ce parfum que j'ai tant aimé. Tu fleuriras toujours au grand jardin d'amour, petite fleur. Au grand jardin d'amour, petite fleur.
Well, thank you very much. I know it's not the usual fare at Music City Roots, and that was perfect pronunciation. Jim Lauderdale, King of Americana, speaking French there. Carte Postale. Carte Postale, it's the title of this album that I've been working on for a little bit with Rory Hoffman here, and Mark Fain on bass plays on it. And it's just come out on my own label, Red Beat Records. Funny, I couldn't get anybody else to put out my album of French songs. So no, I'm kidding. I wouldn't let anybody have it. So there's a... we're going to do a bunch of French songs. There's a reason for it. I'll probably talk about all that. Here's one by a great... That was a Sidney Bechet melody, and the great jazz clarinetist who made a big career for himself in France. This next one is by Charles Trenet. It's from the 30s, and he was an astonishing singer-songwriter. He was a crooner, but he wrote all his own songs. So imagine if Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra were just writing all their own songs. He wrote this one, and I love it particularly because the whole theme of it, it's a beautiful waltz with French accordion, so you don't need to know the words or anything. You can just sort of imagine you're in a cafe dancing. But what he's saying is, many years from now, well, he's being optimistic. Many years from now, people are going to be singing all these songs. They might forget who has written them or why they wrote them, and they'll forget all the words, and they'll just go la la la, but it's still going to be a beautiful song for them to sing. So he's kind of predicting his own obscurity, and I love that. It's called L'âme des poètes, the soul of the poet.
Longtemps
Après que les poètes ont disparu, leurs chansons courent encore dans les rues. La foule les chante un peu distraite en ignorant le nom de l'auteur, sans savoir pour qui battait leur cœur. Parfois on change un mot, une phrase, et quand on est à court d'idées, on fait la 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 les. Longtemps, longtemps, longtemps après que les poètes ont disparu, leurs chansons courent encore dans les rues. Ces garçons bourgeois, artistes ou vagabonds, I'm going to pick up my guitar now because I'm feeling really self-conscious without a guitar. I don't think I've pretty much ever done this in my life. And I even checked on YouTube. I watched some videos, you know, Dean Martin sitting on a stool. But he had a cocktail in his hand most often. But I decided that the most comfortable man on a stool of those crooner folks was Sammy Davis Jr. He could rock a stool. He knew what he was doing. So Rory Hoffman, you're switching instruments yet again. You're going straight to the banjo now. I was almost afraid you were about to do dueling banjos. You could do dueling accordions here tonight. That's what you could do. So here's a song. It's called the Couplet de la Rue de Bagnolet, and the Bagnolet is a suburb. It's a working-class suburb of Paris, and this was a poem written by Robert Desnos in the late 30s, and it was a poem about how the sun on the streets of Bagnolet is different from the sun of anywhere else, and it was set to music by a fellow named Gérard Pitiot, who's a singer in France, and I heard it on a record of his. I said, we need to do that. So we did. It's called the Couplet de la Rue de Bagnolet. Le soleil de la rue de Bagnolet n'est pas un soleil comme les autres. Il se baigne dans le ruisseau, il se coiffe avec un seau, tout comme les autres. Mais quand il caresse mes épaules, c'est bien lui et pas nôtre, le soleil de la rue de Bagnolet. un soleil comme les autres. Il se baigne dans le ruisseau, il se coiffe avec un seau, tout comme les autres. Mais quand il caresse mes épaules, c'est bien lui panneau. Soleil de la rue de Bagnolet, qui conduit son cabriolet ailleurs qu'aux portes des palais. Soleil, soleil, ni beau ni laid, soleil d'hiver et de printemps. Soleil tout drôle et tout content, soleil la rue de Bagnolet, pas comme les autres, pas comme les autres. Thank you very much. This next song is probably the most contemporary. Well, it is. There's no probable about it. This was written in 2000 by a French songwriter named Benjamin Biolay for an album by a fellow named Henri Salvador. And I was listening to that, and I said, we need to do this one. And I asked Rory if he could play saxophone, because I'd worked with Rory once before a few years ago on an album with Peter Cooper, and on that one you were playing mandolin and harmonica and banjo and accordion, but I didn't know whether he played saxophone. One should assume he plays it until he tells you he doesn't. So I called you up. I said, "Could you play a nice, sweet tenor saxophone?" And you said yes. So he did. This is kind of a list song. It's a list of things gone by. It's a wistful song, as many of these are, and it's called Jardin d'hiver, the winter garden, and it's thinking back on things that were beautiful once and hopefully will be beautiful again. And it's a nice little samba, and it goes like this. Je voudrais du soleil vert, des dentelles et des théières, des photos de bord de mer dans mon jardin d'hiver. Je voudrais de la lumière comme en Nouvelle-Angleterre. Je veux changer d'atmosphère dans mon jardin d'hiver. Ta robe à fleurs sous la pluie de novembre, mes mains qui courent, je n'en peux plus de t'attendre. Les années passent, qu'il est loin l'âge tendre. Nul ne peut nous entend. Je voudrais de Fred Astaire revoir la décorée. Je voudrais toujours te plaire dans mon jardin d'hiver. Je voudrais déjeuner par terre comme au long des golfes clairs, t'embrasser les yeux ouverts dans mon jardin d'hiver. Ta robe à fleurs sous la pluie de novembre, mes mains qui courent, je n'en peux plus de t'attendre. Les années passent, qu'il est loin l'âge tendre. Nul ne peut nous entendre. Déjeuner par terre au long des golfes clairs. Je voudrais toujours te plaire dans mon jardin d'hiver. I want to explain why we are doing this. I was born in Northern California, and in our record collection among the Peter, Paul and Mary and the Burl Ives and such was an album called Les Grandes Chansons de Yves Montand. And Yves Montand, known here as a movie star, but for decades was the greatest crooner of France, just spectacular. And we had that in our record collection because my father was French. Well, he was half French, but he grew up in France. And he came to this country after World War II in 1947, and he played harmonica, and he spoke with a French accent all his life. And woo, French accents! And we as a family got the chance to go live in France for almost 4 years, starting when I was 10 years old. And so I absorbed some of all that, things like Yves Montand, Charles Trenet, and Django Reinhardt. These guys, the gypsy jazz guys, they haven't really cut loose yet, but they're spectacular. But Django Reinhardt was always kind of a hero. And so we're going to do a song of Django Reinhardt's that was his most famous composition called Nuages, Clouds, and these lyrics were written by a fellow named Jacques Larue, one of the great lyricists in French popular 20th century music. And this song was on that album, on the Yves Montand Grandes Chansons. So I've been hearing this song all my life, and now I get a chance to sing it. Maybe not like Yves Montand, but we do it our way. le soir, le train s'en va. Sur le quai, son mouchoir s'enfuit déjà. Dans la glace comme un songe, le mur gris de sa maison, sous le jour qui s'allonge, s'estompe à l'horizon. Un nuage s'étire sur son toit bleu. En passant, il semble dire un triste adieu. Et tout ce que j'aimais lorsque le train vire dans un flot de fumée s'efface à jamais. S'étire sur son toit bleu. En passant, il semble dire un triste adieu. Et tout ce que j'aimais lorsque le train vire dans un flot de fumée s'efface à jamais. We're going to do one more song, but let me introduce these fellows. On the keyboards and the accordion, that's Jeff Lisenby. On the drums, Mr. Josh Hunt. On the bass, that's Mark Fain. On this guitar, Austin Filingo. And of course, Rory Hoffman. We're going to do a song that was a big hit in France with Yves Montand, actually back in the 1930s, and it was such a beautiful melody that Mr. Johnny Mercer set it to words and in English, and so we're going to do a little combo platter of languages here and of styles too. We're gonna turn it into kind of a rockabilly song. It's kind of that's how we do it. Take it away.
Nous vivions tous les deux ensemble, toi qui m'aimais et moi qui t'aimais. Mais la vie sépare ceux qui s'aiment tout doucement, sans faire de bruit. Et la mer efface sur le sable les pas des amants désunis. The autumn leaves drift by my window. The autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, those summer kisses, those sunburned hands I used to hold. Since you went away, nights grow long, and I hear old winter song, and I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall, et la mer efface sur le
les pas des amants désunis. Thank you very much. I'm Eric Brace. That's Rory Hoffman, Jeff Lisenby, Austin Falingo, Mark Fain, and Josh Hunt.
Eric Brace, Rory Hoffman. Eric Brace, Rory Hoffman. Magnifique. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I've got in such a mindset. They're listening. We're going to have to sit and talk sometime. I didn't realize you were fluent in French also. Guys, that was great. Let's hear it for him again. That was amazing. That wasn't just great. That was out of this world great. By the way, President Macron called while you guys were playing. He is watching tonight. He got up, he did some official business, and then got up and was watching the show. So if you're still watching President Macron, welcome and thanks. That was just fantastic, guys. Thanks again. I'll tell you what, that really, Eric and Rory, I'll tell you what, really, that really was amazing. And wasn't it, folks?
I really appreciated the subtitles, too, that were going across the screen.
Yeah,
the
subtitles was a nice effect. You know what? I felt like I was at the Eiffel Tower during part of that.
It was
well, I'll tell you what.
Have you ever written a song in French?
No.
Is it hard to rhyme in French?
I haven't.
So you don't know?
No. Keith, I'll tell you what, though. Now that we're back.
Yes.
And it feels like, you know, there's a normalcy to my life again because
I like that word.
I ate at one of my favorite places in the world just a little bit ago.
Yeah?
And that's Puckett's.
That's right.
So
how about that peach cobbler tonight?
Magnifique.
Yeah, magnifique. Yes, sir. We ought to write a song in French. I don't know. Thanks to Puckett's for feeding our crew and artists tonight. They're feeding our live audience at concessions tonight, too. Puckett's is on a mission to spread that Southern comfort food across the state. Find locations in Nashville, Franklin, Columbia, Chattanooga, and now in Murfreesboro. More information can be found at puckettsgro.com. You don't buy a diamond every day, but when that special time comes, just remember you've got good friends in the diamond business. I can't believe he actually paid us a visit tonight. Yes, sir, right there. Who just happened to have a product on the cutting edge of the diamond industry. Go to the web at star129.com to learn why and how the Star 129 was created, literally to outshine ordinary diamonds. Take a look at those before and after photos of diamonds that were recut into Star 129s. Absolutely stunning. You folks in Nashville don't have to go to the web, though. You can go see Bob Forster himself. Yes, sir, Diamond Outlet. Here in Nashville, the Star 129 diamonds available exclusively at Forster's Diamond Outlet. If you're in the Hickory Hollow neighborhood, stop by and see old Bob or any of his family. They'll be glad to show you around. You can see a live comparison. You will not believe your eyes. Now, if you're not in Nashville, you can find a list of Star 129 dealers all around the country at star129.com. Now, let's go over to the chat room, and there's Craig Havochurst. Craig, give us a little French there, right?
I mean, we should give me like 2 seconds to. Vous ne avez ma. No, I can't do it. Shoot. Yeah.
That was good, though. Well, as far as you got, further than I could get.
Je parle un peu. Je parle un peu. High school French.
Yeah.
Folks, this fella is a good friend of the show. He's back for more, and we're thrilled to see him. Scott Miller, everybody. Give him a round of applause.
Hello. Thank you.
Cool to see you. The new album is Ladies Auxiliary, and I gather that's been the name of the little combo you traveled around with when you play with Bryn and Rain. Is that where the name dropped?
Yeah, that's sort of how it started. I've been playing with Bryn and Raina for a couple of years and was like, we need to make a record. And that'll be easy because we've been playing together. And then we got in and started the record, and I remembered a rule that I had made for myself a long time ago, I made a record for Sugar Hill, Upside Downside, that I produced myself. At the end of that record, I was like, don't ever produce yourself again. So when we got in there and started, and that's when I called my good friend Ann McHugh.
Yeah.
And
who's here tonight?
Yes.
Thanks, Ann.
She's here tonight with us. And so she brought in the rest, and that's sort of how we ended up with a lot of the ladies. So
she brought the discipline to the situation.
Yes.
She brought some. She made some order out of chaos.
Yeah, she was the John Kelly.
What do you think is your natural personality that makes it hard for you to produce yourself? What goes haywire?
Oh man, I have no social skills. And I'm not organized whatsoever. And honestly, you want to be able to hear yourself and step back away from yourself. And I take myself way too seriously to be able to do that. So
I was struck that a couple of songs on the album came from shows we've seen you do going back some years. And the one that really jumped out was Lo Siento, Spanishburg,
Right.
West Virginia, which has been a favorite of mine for many years. And I was actually surprised you hadn't recorded it, or maybe you had and revisited it.
Well, when I toured with Raina Geller, we made an EP, and that song was on it in sort of its nascent form.
Okay.
It was never really released, and I debated it in my head whether it was morally right that I could put it on there for about 30 seconds, and then I'm like, I need songs because it's been 4 years between records. Yeah. The record's been doing good. I've been doing a bunch of interviews and stuff for it, and these people
That's
go,
the sure sign of success.
How do you balance between, because I raise cattle, how do you balance between the farm and taking care of your parents and a music career? And I'm like, I don't. That's why it takes me 4 years to get something out.
It's minute-to-minute management, chaos management.
Yeah.
How had the songs come along, though? What kind of body work were you looking at, and had your writing routine been upended, or did you find pockets of time? How the songs stack up?
Well, it's not like it used to be when that's all I did.
Right.
Wake up bright and early at 11 a.m., go in and work on songs and stuff like that. So my time is limited. I've been writing some with, of course, I live in the Shenandoah Valley, Virginia, in a little town called Swope. And right down the road from Swope is a little town that Robin and Linda Williams live in. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but
singing
they're
couple.
awesome
Yep.
folks.
Love them.
So on Wednesday afternoons, I'll go to the Tasty Freeze and get a small combo with ketchup only, and I go out to Robin and Linda's house and spend the afternoon, and we work on songs out there.
Oh,
so I
that
had
is
some
so
help from
cool
them.
to know.
Yeah.
That is so cool to know. They're magnificent, and I'll bet their place kind of gives a little spiritual vibe of like place where songs can flow.
They're awesome people, and it's been great.
I had intended to ask you how the sort of the geography and the feel and the cycle of work and everything on the farm compares today to your growing up years. Like, obviously, you're older and your dad was a different, that was
Right.
who was doing it is different. Right. But the landscape, who goes down the road, who visits, the vibe, how's it different?
It's not. That's the one thing about Swope. Is I'll tell everybody, I grew up in the 70s, the 1870s, because it's same family names, and it's all, just family farms in that whole end of the county out there. So it's a special place, and I love it, and I'm glad I'm there. It's just harder to go make music nowadays.
Right. Was music part of the community and your family when you were young? Did you get the Shenandoah guitars and banjos treatment, or did that come later in your life?
Well, that was pretty ubiquitous. We also had the Statler brothers, were from right there in my hometown. Mac Wiseman was right there from Waynesboro. I mean, there were all kinds of great pickers around there. But we were so isolated. My dad played trumpet in big band era. I mean, he will tell you that he sat in with Les Brown, which means I think he went and sat down in a chair in Les Brown's band and then left. But so I was exposed to that growing up more than anything. But what always came through to me was a good song. No matter what style it was, if it was a good song and told a good story, that's what I like.
Did you do the trad roots thing before you did the V-Roys and rocked out, or was that the beginning of your musical journey?
I checked out a book on Woody Guthrie from the library, man. I started right from the beginning. And we had, at my grandmother's, they had, there was Victrola and then there was Edison. And the Edison players were like sort of the B artists that Victrola signed. You know, Victrola signed all the A artists and the Edison player, and we still had a working Edison player. So I had all sorts of great, awesome songs back there. Like I'm going to bring a watermelon to my girl tonight. Those are classics. What has become of Hinky Dinky Parlez-Vous? These are classics.
These are metaphors for some very dirty stuff.
Exactly.
By the way, people don't know that. Great to see you, sir. We'll wrap up unless you have any long, rambling, funny story you want to tell before we go.
No. It would be better if you'd seen us play. It might work, but I think you're going to love this band. This band is, we've been touring since October, and it's like, finally, it's clicking, it's good, and I don't care.
We're going to get into it. Scott Miller, everybody. So good to see you, bud.
Thank you.
Yeah. Allie Sutton is on the left side of the stage. She brought her compadres along with her, and enjoy some chili singing from Allie Sutton.
Sounds good. I am still beaming from Eric Brace's performance earlier, but his job is not done because he has to help me sing to you a word from our very fine sponsor, Vietti Chili.
Get up and work, grab me a can, and pull off the top and let the fun begin. It'll be even more fun to see about our friends.
Vietti Chili. So get a little chili on your shirt and hands. Girls love guys with Vietti cans. It's waiting for you right now at the grocery store. Tell him, Eric.
Better than your mama's recipe. Just have you taste and you'd surely agree. Dinner time won't be the same anymore. Vietti Chili.
How do you say chili in French?
I don't know. How do you? Thank you guys so much. But before I go, I need the help of my model, Ryan. Ryan? Introducing Vietti's Butcher Cut Baked Beans. Check these things out. They come in a variety of flavors, and they are packed with quality meat. So check that out at a store near you. Now back to the show with Mr. Jim Lauderdale.
Merci, Ali. Merci. Très bon. Yes. Well, folks, here's a hardworking and extremely gifted songwriter who's earned an esteemed platform at Ramseur Records in North Carolina. His new album is Run, Skeleton Run, and we're so pleased to welcome him here for his debut on Music City Roots. I've been a big fan of this man for a long time. Please put your hands together for David Childers.
Thank y'all for being here. This song about a beer joint down where I'm from, around Charlotte, North Carolina, called Camp Ladder. Lock the windows, lock the door. Bruiser ain't gonna come around no more. Ronnie by the river done lost his head to a double-shot barrel that knocked him dead. Blood on the ceiling, blood on the wall. Hope it rain before the morning fall. Camp ladder shuffle, dance all night. Do the dirty dog, make a love, don't fight. Well, we come here to have our fun, dance with the ladies without them guns. You want trouble, better leave it at home, but if you insist, then bring it on. Blood on the ceiling, blood on the wall. Hope it rain before the morning fall. Camp ladder shuffle, dance all night. Do the dirty dog, make a love, don't fight. Hey! Drag old Bruiser out the door, throw him in the boat and lock up the floor. There's a hole in the river we can throw him in. Gonna be a while before we see him again. Blood on the ceiling, blood on the wall. Hope it rain before the morning fall. Camp ladder shuffle, dance all night. Do the dirty dog, make a love, don't fight. Blood on the ceiling, blood on the wall. Hope it rain before the morning fall. Camp ladder shuffle, dance all night. Do the dirty dog, make a love, don't fight. Oh! Thank you. This song here called Interstate Lullaby. I have to drive up and down the interstates a lot. One particular stretch is I-40 between Asheville and Knoxville. It's a raining from Asheville all the way to Knoxville. Fog full of devils on the twisting road. Escaping from a craving in another town. And all the helping hands slap the good man down. Sunshine in Louisville, I'm sitting on a wall, closing my eyes as the warm night falls, thinking about my baby and her living so fine. That's what I got waiting at the end of the line. Early morning truck stop, 2 horses in a trailer, leaned over the bayou. They've been racing all day. Down in Chattanooga, the owner proudly tells me how they won 4 races, then they drive away. Early morning darkness makes me want to sing, singing in the wind, down in my dreams. Just a few more miles left to go. Been singing this song since I was born. Well, the moon rises backwards just ahead of the sun. There's a few more rigs to pass on this run. A backdoor man, what I'm gonna be once I get out of East Tennessee. Well, the dogs come barking and the bluebirds sing. I can smell the coffee she's made for me. Goodbye to the devils of the twisting road. Hello, darling, I made it home. Thank y'all. I'm glad I could sing that in Tennessee. I used to have this shortwave radio when I was a kid. I listened to a lot of cool stuff on there, but I got in this one spell where I was listening to Radio Moscow a good bit. Kind of fancy, and I wanted to be a communist or a Russian or something. I got over it, but this song hung around with me. Honey, at 14 years old, listening to Radio Moscow. staring out the window, smoking old golds. He wore a hat like Dr. Zhivago. The night spoke to him with a voice so cold, frozen to the ground, frozen to the road. Hiding in the attic, 14 years old, listening to Radio Moscow. He was waiting on the day to make his escape so he could figure out the American way. He had no friend, he didn't fit in. Maybe there was some kind of message for him. The shadows and the groans of a dying world didn't frighten him as much as talking to girls. Such a sad fella, looking for a friend, listening to Radio Moscow. Jet trails up above the snow, stretching to the poles. All the little houses shiver in the cold. Somewhere a finger is twitching by a red telephone. He listening to Radio Moscow. A finger is twitching by a red telephone, listening to Radio Moscow. Thank y'all. I've been twisting these wires here. I'm gonna, excuse me while I tune this just a sec. I've had a lot of good things happen in my life. And a lot of people I'm thankful to. I didn't get them all in this song, but it's called Thanks to All. To all you fine fair ladies who grace me with your charms, I thank you for the comfort I found lying in your arms long ago, long ago. To all my friends and comrades with whom I shared the road, I thank you for your willingness to help me bear my load long ago, long ago. I could have wound up dying young in some hidden place and never known these peaceful days filled with amazing grace. And thanks to my teachers that did the best they could until they finally realized I was just no good long ago, long ago. And thanks to the judges who did not send me down, and all the cops who let me pass through their little towns long ago, long ago. I could have wound up dying young in some hidden place and never known these peaceful days filled with amazing grace. And thanks to all who gave me work, help me earn my pay, to find a place to call my own upon this mortal plane long ago, long ago. And thanks to the preachers who saw me in the pew and welcomed me with love and light like Jesus said to do. Long ago, I could have wound up dying young in some hidden place and never known these peaceful days filled with amazing grace. Hey! Thank y'all. You've been very kind. We'll do this one last song about a skeleton. Run, skeleton, run. Get down from the mountain, back into the graveyard. Run, skeleton, run. Rooster crows down by the barn. Lights are on in the dairy farm. Shadows shrinking from the sun. Run, skeleton, run. Run, skeleton, run. Get down from the mountain, back into the graveyard. Run, skeleton, run. Well, the farmer's daughter saw you run past, hit you with a shotgun blast, scared her off with a skeleton laugh. Run, skeleton, run. Run, skeleton, run. Get down from the mountain, back into the graveyard. Run, skeleton, run. You killed your wife out of jealousy. Judge and jury said first degree. Strung you up on a big old tree. Run, skeleton, run. Run, skeleton, run. Get down from the mountain, back into the graveyard. Run, skeleton, run. You get caught, they'll tie you up, sell you off at the medical shop. Get back in the ground, don't be no fool. You'll wind up in medical school. Run, skeleton, run. Get down from the mountain, back into the graveyard. Run, skeleton, run. Run, skeleton, run. Run, skeleton, run. Oh! A skeleton run.
David Childers. Thank you. Yes, David Childers, everybody. Love that guy. Well, Keith, I'll tell you what, it's been so long. It's just been way too long since I've heard you read like poetry, like we said earlier, one of those classic radio station IDs. Will you do that?
Anything for you, Jim.
Thank you.
Anything for my pal. I don't know this in French. I wish I did. You're listening to Roots Radio, 89.5 WMOT, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Franklin, Americana, deep and wide. Please remember to support public radio. Find your way to WMOT.org and press that donate button. It can get you invited to private members events like the next Wired In with Jesse Scott featuring the Steel Drivers and Jerry Douglas. Is that going to be a show or what? Speaking of WMOT, did you know that we're going to give a shout out to Acceptance Auto Insurance, who not only support our nationwide PBS television series, they also underwrite the Acceptance Morning Ride on WMOT with your witness, Whit Hubner. weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. with 12 offices around Middle Tennessee, 400 across the country. Wherever your song takes you, Acceptance has you covered. Learn more at acceptance.com. You, your terms, accepted. And finally, at last, Jim can get auto insurance again. It's a wonderful thing. Yeah.
I like that. Well, Keith, I'll tell you what, I accept what you just said. I mean, it sounded right, folks. Don't it sound like poetry just trickling from his teeth when he... It's thank you for weaving your magic for us
no
again
problem,
tonight.
man. Glad to ease your pain anytime. I don't know what to say after that. Craig Havockhurst, what's going on?
We'll get you out of this deep, dark hole, Keith Bilbrey. Folks, please welcome back to the stage gentlemen who collaborated on this lovely album, Carte Postale. Eric Brace and Rory Hoffman. There we go.
Thank you, Craig.
I told Eric that on Saturday at the CD release party, his jacket looked... I would have sworn on a Bible it was gold, but I guess that was just the lighting. It's silver tonight, or maybe it changes color like some sci-fi jacket. Anyway, the jacket is worthy of this music. This is a little bit of wonderful old world glitz and glamour about this. You can picture the Parisian lights in the 1940s, 50s, 60s. You know, that kind of, and. I'm wondering, you talk on stage about the influence of the records in your house, but you moved to France for a time in your youth.
We did.
And I'm just remembering sort of what is the culture beyond the music? But there is people talk about the light in France and just how different it is. And I've been there years ago, but it really is. You're sort of like, it's just different, and you can't put your finger on it.
Well, I moved there. I moved to Paris with my family. I was 10 years old when we moved there, and it was Paris. And we would get on a bus and go to school, and then we would be free to walk around back in those halcyon days where you weren't picked up at school and there weren't helicopter parents. And we had a little bus tickets, and we could get on a bus and just ride the bus along the Seine and absorb the language. And I went to an international school, and so I had classes in English in the morning and French in the afternoon, and I had a very strict French teacher who had me memorizing French poetry and things like that before I even could speak the language. And so I was learning the sound of the language before anything else. But the city it stays in my dreams. It was an amazing time, 3.5 years there. I can't imagine my life now without that.
How long had the album project been in your head?
Well, a good long time, actually, because I first started playing music, bluegrass, in college, but even then I would throw in a couple of French songs now and then. But my father and I worked very half-heartedly on a translation of Nuage, the French song, the Django song that I did. And so I kept those notes about singing that turning it into English and recording it with my band Last Train Home. But then I thought, because we had recorded 2 songs with Last Train Home about 10 years ago, a French version of Autumn Leaves and a French version of What Now My Love, Et Maintenant. And I thought, well, we'll do Nuage also. But then when I was translating it, I was so in love with with those lyrics in French that I thought, I want to sing them in French. And when Peter Cooper, your friend of mine, we recorded an album a few years ago, and we asked Rory Hoffman to come and play a few songs and several instruments on each song, and we did. And the way he was playing, I said he would be so perfect for these French songs.
Yeah, and Rory, you talked to me the other night about how natural this music is to you, how much you've loved it through the years, the vocabulary and the different styles, especially the Django Hot Club stuff.
My first gig when I moved to Nashville was with a group called the Gypsy Hombres, which is a gypsy jazz trio. And so I've been a member of that group for 9 years now. So we focused on a lot of the Django repertoire and French sounding music. We've written a lot of our own music in that style, but all that to say, I was very familiar with the sound of that kind of music, that genre. The flavors and the flares and the ornaments that those types of musicians use, the instrumentation that they use, and how they put the arrangements together. And so when Eric presented me with this idea, I was just all about it. It was like, wow, this is a perfect opportunity to get to do, something very, very, atypical Nashville, and I enjoyed it very much.
You brought the record strikes me as having a lot of Nashville imprint on it, from the point of view of players who can, gel and get a style right and adapt and kind of throw themselves into the spirit of a project full force. And plus, Rory, this touches on just about every instrument you play. I mean, there's roles for keyboards and accordion. There's roles for stringed instruments. There's roles for wind instruments and harmonica. And that must have been a cool part of it too.
It really made it fun because I was largely in control, in charge of making the record what it sounds like, because the only other musicians on the record were Mark Fain on bass and Lynn Williams on drums. Any other instruments on the record I played, so I was in charge of all the colors, all the textures and arrangements and stuff like that. So Eric, of course, was in the room when I did it, and the producer Tom Utz was in the room, so they were allowed creative input into the thing, but by and large, they just trusted that I knew the music and that I knew the style, and I'd be like, how about we try tenor banjo on this one, or I think I should do piano and accordion on this one, and so there was a lot of freedom there for me to create the textures on the record.
Nice. Well, I'm thrilled that you play the clarinet, because of all the instruments that you're great at, the clarinet, when it seems to, just for me, elevate to another place. It's an instrument that doesn't get enough attention. It's perfectly lyrical, and it fits the melodic ideas of this music.
That's the fun thing about this music, is it is a very melodic music, and so I kind of tried to stay true to those just spectacular melodies and chord progressions, but also throw a little bit of the fireworks that comes with gypsy jazz and the way Django played and stuff. So it's kind of trying to keep it sophisticated and and charming, but yet a little bit of fireworks and flair in there as well.
Cool. Now, Eric, I know you'd love to take this band to new places and have them play. So, would you like to tell everybody there listening on the radio that you'd like to take this band and get hired to go play other places? Because we'd love to see that happen.
We would love to see
this combo is very special. You've fleshed out the band for full arranged stuff.
Well,
on the
imagine
stage.
when we decided we were going to play a couple of shows live, I said, Rory, what are we going to do? You can't play 4 instruments at a time. So we got these great fellas that I introduced before. They're spectacular, and I'm just so happy that we did it. But if you want to hear Rory's arrangements, can I be crass? We have CDs over there, and we'll be over there, and we can...
So yes,
but thank you.
Go purchase and go hire Carts Postal. They are a band. They are an album, and it's a very fine one. So thanks a lot, Eric. You keep impressing us. Appreciate it. Eric Brace, Rory Hoffman, everybody.
Thank you.
Mighty fine, gentlemen.
Yeah,
mighty fine.
Thanks,
hey,
brother.
let's go out and get a croissant sometime, okay? That'd be nice. That'd be really nice. Well, folks, when we think of this exceptional songwriter, words come to mind like refined, honest, enthralling, and Canadian. She's a Juno Award winner and more, a favorite among those who appreciate a profound song delivered with grace. Please make welcome Grace Cousins. I'm sorry, I was looking. Let me take that back. Rewind it for the television. Please make welcome Rose Cousins.
This quiet is full, this quiet is land. And I'm sorting through what's left of us now. And I found freedom from what could have been, freedom from the think of you and my newfound freedom from your caress, and freedom from the blame, I guess. Well, you left me with no illusion. Yeah, you and I, we took this to its natural conclusion. I should have gone right from the start, and I would have freedom from this broken heart. And every breath that's marking time and the distance from when you were mine before this freedom. Thank you. Please welcome my wonderful friend, also from Canada, Mr. Asa Brosius on pedal steel. It's a real honor to be here on Music City Roots. Thank you so much for having me and for coming out tonight. I'm originally from Prince Edward Island, Canada. Okay, most known for Anne of Green Gables seafood. There are several restaurants I've been here, actually in town here, that have PEI mussels on the menu. I'd make a point to point it out to the waitstaff each time. But we're very well known for potatoes, and I grew up on a potato farm, one of 5 kids. I didn't eat potatoes until I was in my 20s, because I didn't realize until later in my life that my dad likes really dry mashed potatoes. But it was in the form of a chip and a French fry. I would definitely eat it. It's not relevant to the story. I wrote a song called Farmer's Wife as kind of an ode to my mom and my sister. My sister ended up marrying a potato farmer as well, and witnessing her in the role that my mother played out very well gave me a deeper appreciation for how intricate and important the job of being a mother is. And this one with a particular flavor of having a farm attached to it. So this is for them. My sister, I just wanted to say, I know there's a lot of teachers in the crowd tonight. My sister's a teacher. So thank you for your incredible patience. Parents and teachers, good Lord. Make a meal for you and bring it to the field. I will do this every day and not say how I feel. I will bring the kids so they can see that you work hard. I will stay up late to hear you drive into the yard. I will give the shelves a dust on Sunday afternoon.
relaxing as the children watch cartoons. I will tend the blooming flowers all along the house. I will put you all to bed, quiet as a mouse. I will feel the seasons change and shift around the codes. What it is I do all day, no one really knows. But I can tell by the clouds what the skies will bring, and I will do my change in silence and teach the kids to sing. Clothes to dry in the summer wind. I will breathe as day grows nigh, and we'll begin again. Thank you. Thank you so much. I put out a new record this year, and I believe that WMOT, Jesse Scott, was one of the first people to play it, and I deeply appreciate that, and it's great to be able to come to Music City and have your songs on the radio. And it's a real honor, yeah. So thank you so much. This is the jazzy number from the record. The record's called Natural Conclusion, and there was far more jazzy notes played. I think actually Rory played all the notes tonight, so all the ones I'm playing are redundant. This is as jazzy as we're gonna get. This is called Lock and Key. It's that pull that you have with somebody that you can't deny, and it's very annoying, but also really great and just drives you crazy. And you want it and you don't, but you do. I spilled my heart, you watched me bleed. I am a thief and you keep giving to my greed. You're the water to my thirsty seed. I am the lock and you are the key. I am my own worst enemy. Somehow you stand alone and you fight for me. Love is the sometimes it's hard to see. But I'm for you and you were meant for me. But you're the only one who ever set me free. I am the lock and you are the key. Always there to break my fall, push me from the highest wall. Still it all makes sense to me. I wait until you call. You're the best and worst of all. And without you, where would I be? I pushed you away and now you're all I need. We are lock and key. Lock and key. Lock and key. Thanks so much. That's Asa Brosius on steel. A couple years ago, I wrote a song named Grace, which is interesting because it is also a very great name. But I wrote it in a time when I was really searching for grace. And I realized that it's actually a very good way to think about walking in the world, but it's very hard some days to have it. So this is called Grace. It was not my bed to make, but it might have been my soul to take. And I paid dearly for my mistake, but it was not my bed to make, and it was not in the way I moved. Everything I tried to prove to you, grace, I'm trying to be stronger, grace, this wounded heart, it longs for grace. Mercy, take your time, help me find my way to grace. I surrender and I lay down my arms. If I can do no good, I will do no harm. And truth, the eye of every storm. I lay down my arms. It was not in my words or in the ways they hurt you. Grace, I'm trying to be stronger. Grace, this wounded heart, it longs for grace. Mercy, take your time, help me find my way to grace. going to do one more song for you, and it's just a real treat to finally be on this program, and among such incredible company. Radio is, I appreciate how radio is still very important, and roots programs to people who are not on the other stations. People who care about the songs a lot and come here to listen to them in person. There's nothing that can replace that. And radio is such a great support and gets the music farther than any of us. So, and I guess, of course, the internet. But, you know, who's counting? Radio is on the internet. I have this one last song. It's called Chosen. And I'm hoping that you guys will sing in an ooh choir. It's just ooh, and it comes in about 3/4 of the way through. I'll cue you. I think I have this potential to go really well. And you can add in a harmony. You can police yourself on that. Because I can't take care of that right now. You have to be in charge of that. I trust you. Don't screw this up. So it comes in 3/4 of the way through, and this is the ooh. Ooh, practice. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Beautiful, strong. Okay, thank you so much. My name is Rose Cousins. I'm honored by everyone here. Thank you so much to Jacob and Anthony and Shelby and Ryan and Rob out front and Seth on monitors, and to Music City Roots, Jim and Craig and Ashley, Jean and Keith, Jesse Scott at WMOT. Take these arms, these legs, they are broken. This love is too much, I am frozen. And I don't know if I have what it takes to be chosen. With wings, and I am flightless. Someone's carving a statue in my likeness, and I will never live up to this portrait. I'm just posing, and I don't know if I have what it takes to be chosen. Give me a sign, a photo, a map, something to go by. How am I supposed to know what I'm supposed to look like? I'm leaving dust, running fast like I've always done from everyone. Stepping up to no battles, no, I never win. Lace is undone and I am always falling. Dodging my own heart like a bullet, full of failure and sin. And I don't know if I have what it takes to be chosen. Here we go. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm Rose Cousins. This is Ace of Rosius. Thank you so much.
Rose Cousins. Rose Cousins, everybody.
Good stuff?
Yes, great stuff. Well, Keith, now that you're back in this part of the world, what would you like to share with us?
Well, I would
right
like
now?
to share that folks we receive support from.
Well, that sounds
that's
like
real
music
important
to my ears.
Real important. Music City Roots receives support for this broadcast from businesses that are leaders in our community, like Ascend Federal Credit Union, the preferred credit union of MTSU Athletics. Ascend offers convenient online account access, bill payments, and statements with an app to access your accounts on the go. Visit ascendfcu.org to register for e-services from Ascend. Ascend Federal Credit Union, raising possibilities. Ascend is federally insured by the NCUA. Membership is limited. It's kind of like the Craig Havikhurst fan club. However, yes, but that's not limited. Anybody can join the Craig Havikhurst fan club. Just go to your Facebook page and that's all you got to do.
That's it.
That's it. Craig, what do you got for us?
Folks, we got some guests in the house tonight. Wanted to make sure we welcome them. The Tennessee Association of College Registrars and Admissions Officers are out there. If it's got college in the name, I like it. More college. And also thanks to Civitas Learning for sponsoring the dinner. Thank you all for coming out and spending your evening with us. Made it feel really good to walk in here and see a whole bunch of people enjoying dinner up there on the upper deck. And joining us for another Music City Roots. And thank you, Rose, for all your kind words about the show. We could have done this years ago. We just didn't know. I'm glad it finally worked out.
Me too. Thank you for having me.
How much time do you spend in Nashville?
I'm more and more. I love the city so much. It has such a beautiful feel, and I feel really lucky to be starting to really connect with some beautiful writers down here and just want to keep making music.
Absolutely. Now, I failed to formally introduce, we just met Rose from her wonderful performance, but welcome back David Childers as well. These are two very serious but very different songwriters. We are doing the 2-for-1 in the chat room tonight. These are artists who I believe have never met before this evening. Is that fair to say? North Carolina, Prince Edward Island, or I guess now you're in Nova Scotia?
Yes, I live in Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Tell us about the place you've chosen to live and make your base, and whether that zinged into your music life or whether that was chosen for totally other reasons.
I went to college.
College!
No, I didn't. It was university. It's not college, but it's university. I went and I was in Halifax. I got a degree in kinesiology.
Yeah.
So that's good. And and then I stayed. I stayed there. It's beautiful. Nova Scotia is ridiculous. PEI is, I feel like the landscape of PEI would be what my innards would look like, I think. And I think that that gets into the songs kind of like sometimes deliberately and sometimes peripherally.
And how much of that amazing Canadian musical tradition, there's this wonderful, folk instrumental tradition and fiddle and all that world, and there's songwriters that have often overshadowed American songwriters at various times in our history, to the point where we claim them as our own. Some of the Jonies and so forth, we almost believed they were from the United States. But what would you tell people about this great tradition? What are you proud of?
I'm proud to be Canadian. I'm proud, that we are actually on a continent that's attached, and that we get to share the art in each place and be influenced by each other. And I feel really lucky to be from a small place and to carry that small place with me when I come to bigger places. Cool. And I think it helps me greet people in a way that maybe if I grew up in a big city wouldn't have been innate. Where it ends up that I like to write near the ocean and with kind of nothing around.
Right on. And one big question about your album, Natural Conclusion, which is just lovely. You described in your bio kind of making the most progress toward the record by doing everything but writing an album. Like you really kind of took a step back and pursued some other things, other kinds of creativity. Just address how you rekindled that fire?
Yeah, I think I started about in 2014. I finished off my last record cycle and really was like, I want to walk into a room and write a song that doesn't have to be for Rose Cousins. And I think that has been really freeing to say, you can write a song that could be for something else. I don't have to be writing for an album. I think maybe that in the past has been in the way for me. I'd be like, well, I got to write this specific thing. And also I'm a photographer, and that's kind of like my other outlet. It's like, visual poems, I suppose, just like kind of the way that I see the world. And so I did a lot of time doing that, kind of got back in the dark room. So yeah, that, I guess kind of taking the preciousness of writing songs for yourself out, from me out, did free me in a way that helped me gather songs for a new record.
Well, David, I'm sure you relate. You are a painter as well as a songwriter. How do those two worlds relate for you?
Well, I get a lot of ideas sometimes from what I'm painting, but sometimes they don't have anything to do with each other. Writing for me, of course, I'm educated too. I must confess that. That's kind of a bad thing these days, but I actually studied creative writing, and I wound up being a lawyer for 35 years. I don't do that anymore, so don't hate me. But it's just living. I have no method. Kind of like Colonel Kurtz. I don't have any method. And I can't even keep up with what's going on or tell you where songs came from. They just grow. It's something I do, and I'm fortunate to have guys I play with at home down around Charlotte. And so I write songs for us to play and learn a lot of cover songs. And, we go out and play these 3-hour sets in bars and breweries and just work it up like that.
It's funny, I had a lengthy conversation earlier today with another artist who's a songwriter first and also a visual artist. And she said that when she starts a song, it feels like a process of pursuing something, chasing an idea, going outward and looking for that answer that sort of thrown her hat over the fence. But that when she's doing visual art, she's in a stable place. She knows where she is. She's not searching. Something about stability and feeling comfortable in where you are, not needing to go rambling along. And I thought that was pretty interesting insight. I'd never heard it put quite that way.
I find both of them real hard. I just
do you really? Would you say that you find both hard?
I like the struggle, but it's none of it seems to really come very easy.
David, what would you say about your part of North Carolina? It's a state I'm from, and I take great pride in the musical traditions from one side of the state to the other. It's a remarkable place. Are you a native, and did you sound like a native?
Yeah, I've been living there 66 years, and I don't have any plans on moving. I've been married for 44 and to a lovely lady that's here with me tonight, and raised our kids there. Same town I grew up in. I moved to a different house, but I'm just very, which was a good idea. My mom and I didn't get along too well, but God rest her soul. But it's a very exciting area. It's very multicultural, and I meet all kind of people, and there's a lot of venues to play in. It's a great place for a musician. Because there's just an explosion of venues down there.
Yeah, North Carolina's given us a lot going on these days. It's terrific. Rose, what's next for you? What's your plan for 2018? And are you just one of those people who now, once you've got the record out, are on the road and working it, or what?
I have worked it this year. I'd like to say that I worked it. I'm hoping that it will continue to work for me as I work on other things.
Okay.
No, I'm really proud of the record, and there's still shows to be played in support of that for sure. But I'm going to come back to Nashville several times and keep chasing songs, and I just want to get, I want to be a better writer and hopefully collect enough songs for another record.
Do you write with folks here?
I do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know my friend Sarah Siskind. I think
I
you
do.
guys
I wrote with her today. Actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Doggone, she's in town?
She is.
Let's chase her down.
I'm so sorry. Maybe she didn't want to say that
She's
on radio.
sneaky. She's a busy woman.
She's very busy.
Yep. It's great to see you. Thanks for sharing the interview, the chat room, the Three Stools and the Truth. I think we've maybe cut to something there. David Childers, Rose Cousins, y'all. Beautiful, beautiful music, 2 different flavors. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Everybody, how you feeling out there tonight? It's been a great night of music, and so it goes on. Well, here we're with a fella who's been visiting our stage regularly since our early months on the air. He's a folk singer and a rock and roller, a guy who knows where our music comes from and who guides it into the future. His very new album is Ladies Auxiliary, and he's Scott Miller.
Thank you. I was eating a cough drop. Okay. Henry Streeter owns this town. Parks on the sidewalk and he beats men down. His wife was pictured in a magazine. He brought her over from the Philippines. You can see her about 5 o'clock on the hood of his car on the town sidewalk. Well, it starts in Minnesota as a tiny stream is rolling like a river down to New Orleans. Sin in Indiana, it's a powerful thing. Chalmers Walcott's the biggest liar. Drinks bottled water but can still breathe fire. Got half a finger but he's twice as mean as a Boilermaker on amphetamines. He's a deacon down at the church, but there's porn in the corn, so there's plenty of work. Well, it starts in Minnesota as a tiny stream. It's rolling like a river down to New Orleans. Sin in Indiana, it's a powerful. Hempstead could not stop eating popcorn when she's high on pot. She kept on chewing till her teeth were gone. The dentist made some out of cut limestone. You can always tell she's been around, 'cause there's tombstones growing where she spits in the ground. Well, it starts in Minnesota as a tiny stream. It's rolling like a river down to New Orleans. Sin in Indiana, it's powerful. Sin in Indiana, it's a powerful. Sin in Indiana, it's a powerful thing. Thank you. So good to be back. Can I get some fiddle? Oh, out working this new record called Ladies Auxiliary. I originally was going to call the record Thalia and Melpomene after the Greek muses. And I can see why that probably was not a good idea right there. That's awesome. Anyway, when I was writing for this record, at one point I had this idea that I was going to take all the Greek and Roman myths and put them all into 3-minute songs and become like the Johnny Horton of mythology. And then I realized that wasn't a good idea either. But anyway, this is the first song on there. It's called Epic Love. It goes like this. When it's so hard on the living that they envy the dead, and you was snake bitten on the day we were wed, that I walked straight into hell just to get you myself. I
I should have never looked back. I still feel bad about that. I loved you so much. I loved you so much. I loved you so much. It was an epic love. Watched me go off to war like I was worth waiting for. I was as good as my word and a liar for sure. You went and stayed with your parents. I wrote you all kinds of letters. I took 10 years to get back. I still feel bad about that. I loved you so much. I loved you so much. I loved you so much. It was an epic love. Some men will go through life with nothing. Some men will go through life with ease. If I'm addicted to something, well, it's just the one thing that I need. 'Cause I could drink you forever. I could swallow you whole. But if we're not together, I got to know that you know I loved you so much. I loved you so much. I loved you so much. It was an epic love. I loved you so much. I loved you so much. I loved you so much. It was an epic love, an epic love. How about a hand for this band? Over here on my right or on your left if you're facing the speakers or with your back to the speakers, I don't know. Seth Hopper right over here on the fiddle. The mainstay of many, many bands and many albums, that's Bryn Davies right there on the bass.
and the savior and producer of the record and an awesome songwriter herself, Ann McHugh, right there. Thank you. Did y'all come in one car? Well, she smells like a biker, and she cackles like a jackal. Dressed to kill in that new pantsuit, you can see the static crackle, all the lovely Sunday dinners. She complains that they're too spicy. And those migraines out the yin-yang like she's slurping on an icy. She's an old stick in the mud. Now she's stuck in my craw. Lord have mercy, she's my mother-in-law. Well, if you take her out to eat, she's a thrifty little booger. Starts a filling up her purse with little tiny packs of sugar, and you better run for cover. If she takes off those shoes, they must smell something awful, 'cause they done turned her hair blue. She sends me on the path to heaven by giving me some hell. OMG, she's my MIL. Admit she's kinda cute with her polydential smile, but you give that gal an inch and she'll take a country mile. You can't get her to shut her mouth. Once the conversation's rolling, it's hard to eat your dinner when she's moaning about her colon. She's an old stick in the mud, now she's stuck in my craw. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. She's my mother-in-law. Are you with me so far? Good to be back in the Middle Tennessee. I've been through many towns this size. Always left when it ain't right. I break the bread, I drink the wine. My love moves in its own time. Some girls know just what to do. Some are just moving just to move. Some girls are clever when they act shy. My love moves in its own time. My love, this river's yours, this valley's mine. Yours, this valley's mine. Save only her, I feel at peace. I act the most, I am the least. I've been with others, I'm not trees younger than stone, sure as the marrow in our bones. The moon, it shivers, the stars align, our love moves in its own time. The world, it turns, we pay no mind, our love moves in its own time. I don't know, that was a downer, wasn't it? How about another hand for the band? Folks, I grew up in Virginia in the Shenandoah Valley, where the men are men, the women are women, and the sheep are scared. I grew up on a river there. The river, not a very romantic name, called the Cow Pasture River. It used to be called the Wallawatula. The Indians named it for winding waters. But I guess the white people decided to name it the Cow Pasture River, and that's what it is now. Cow Pasture and the Jackson River form the James River there in Virginia. Back in 1969, we had was our flood. And I'll dedicate this song to all the flood victims everywhere. But our flood was from Hurricane Camille in 1969, if you may be familiar with that storm or not, and you probably don't care. But here's this song called It'll Never Be That River Again. Oh, my goodness. And Raina Gellert has joined on the stage. There she is. Raina's on the record. She's made of awesome. Anyway, see how this goes. In 69 when Camille came, you had to jump in the river to get out of the rain. The water rose so fast, so high, the cattle bawled and drowned all night. The mountains took it until they gave. All the bridges washed away. My cousin fished from the front porch steps, and Granddaddy looked at the water and said, from the mountain, through the valley, to the ocean where it ends, it can never be that river again. She had blue eyes with rings of fire, and I was hers, and she was mine, and the sun was hot, the river just right. We skipped rocks all day, and we rolled all night. We both knew what lay round the bend. Summer loves will always end. When the walnut leaves fell, we went back to school, drifted away, and the river did too. From the mountain, through the valley, to the ocean where it ends,
can never be that river again. No, it can never be that river. Smart if that's brand new. It's not on the record. It'd be smart if I played songs on the record, but I obviously don't have much business acumen. Well, my career sits where it does. I said career. Are you with me at all? Yeah. I'm worried about you. All right. Oh, here's an oldie but a goodie called Across the Line. I left my home in the valley. I put the mountains to my back. There's nothing wrong with where I come from. Sometimes it's meant to be just that. Oh, across the line. Streets the state line. I found myself between a promise, between a woman and a friend of mine. Oh, across the line. There were sheets of rain and sheets of silk and cloudy water, mother's milk, and swollen gorges filled with blood. I cannot stop the coming flood. Overflowing storm-filled drain, bolts of lightning and searing pain, claps of thunder, gusts of wind, and first I'm out and then I'm in. First I'm out, then I'm in. So I'm seceding West Virginia. I'm off to be a brand new man. I know you take your troubles with you, but maybe I can feel brand new again. Oh, across the line.
Bryn Davies, Seth Hopper, Scott Miller.
Thank you so much, Scott. And fine band. There's a little more music, folks. One more song, a Nashville Jam coming up. So don't go away too quickly. Been a great night of music. We appreciate everybody in the Blackstone Brewery lineup. But first, let me tell you that you've been listening to all this terrific stuff on your radio out there at 89.5 WMOT, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Franklin. We appreciate them, the whole team, the whole staff at MTSU, and serving Middle Tennessee with 100,000 watts of Americana deep and wide round the clock. Please tune in. Please join up. Please go visit the website, see what we're doing news-wise, see what you can do to help us as a member. And we going to strive to make WMOT as great as it can be. The lineup tonight was fantastic. Eric Brayson, Rory Hoffman, David Childers, Rose Cousins, and Scott Miller. Can't wait to see what they've got in store. And speaking of special things that you must wait for, 1 week from tonight, November 22nd, it's our yearly family reunion that kicks off the holiday season, the eve of Thanksgiving. And as always, the team has pulled together an incredible lineup. It's going to feature country and gospel star John Barry, the great Radney Foster, the Texas songwriter who's got a new book of short stories out. He has thrown his hat in the ring as an author, and it's fantastic stuff. He's going to be a guest on The String coming up here in the coming weeks. Ashley Cleveland is back. She can rock out with a gospel song herself. And a man who I think blew me away, perhaps more than anybody I've ever seen at the show, because it was like, went from I wasn't sure what to expect to truly an epic talent who ought to be known worldwide. Jimmy Hall is going to be here. He will blow your face off with some soul and rhythm and blues. We love Jimmy Hall. So that's a week from tonight. It's usually a sellout. Please get your tickets soon. Please join us. Make us part of your holiday season. We love that night. And I'll bet Keith Bilbrey is going to be roasting his turkey by smearing maybe some of that jalapeno jam on it from Nashville Jam Company. Yeah,
that sounds good to me. Well, I'll tell you what, we are ready for the final jam. And Jim Lauderdale, are you ready for the jam?
Almost. Why don't you keep telling the folks about something good?
They didn't rush Sam Phillips in the studio, folks.
That's right.
So we're not gonna.
I was thinking it'd be very appropriate tonight to do something in French.
Yeah, can you just work that up there for us, fellas?
Yeah. We could do Farah Jacques. Everybody knows that's French, isn't it?
And you can jam on that one all night long.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That would take you back. But have you had a good time tonight? I mean, this is good stuff. Good stuff. Well, sir, are you ready?
Just a minute.
Well, it's the same
Almost.
old thing.
News stretching. We're trying to figure something out.
News, weather, and sports from Keith Bilbrey right now, folks.
Let me get my iPhone out here. What's the latest tweet here? Oh, you don't want to hear it. I guarantee you that.
There's a lot of fascinating news out there, but you can't talk about it on a microphone without getting somebody jumping down your throat.
Fellas, excuse me. Can we please get on with the song?
Ladies and gentlemen, a great big hand.
He set us up.
A great big hand. Just one big hand for Jim Lauderdale and the Nashville Jam.
Thank you. What, hasn't it been a great show?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
We've been through all that.
Let's give a big hand to all our artists that have been up here tonight. It's just. Well, I asked Scott Miller if he had an idea for a song, and I don't think we've ever done this at the Jam. So please feel free to sing along on the chorus if you'd like. Rory, kick it off for us, please. I was dancing with my darling to the Tennessee waltz when an old friend I happened to see. I introduced him to my darling, and when they were dancing, my friend stole my sweetheart from me.
I remember the night of the Tennessee Waltz. Now I know just how much I have lost. Yes, I lost my little darling the night they were playing that beautiful Tennessee waltz.
She goes dancing with the darkness to the Tennessee waltz, and I feel like falling apart. And it's stronger than drink, and it's deeper than sorrow. This darkness she left in my heart.
Remember the night and the Tennessee waltz.
Now I know just how much I've lost. I've lost my darling while they were playing that beautiful Tennessee waltz. Tennessee waltz.
Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next week here at Music City Roots.
Oh, great job, Jam. Music City Roots is a production of Hang Die Media. Thanks to the MCR crew for all their hard work tonight. Don't forget to tune in to 89.5 WMOT Roots Radio tonight on your way home. And if you're already listening on the radio, don't touch that dial. I'm Keith Bilbrey, and from the edge of Music City, good night, everybody.